Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, on the postgraduate program. The topic for today is managing stress on the PhD journey. You've taken a journey which will accord you with a title called PhD, and your name is going to be changed from Mr. So-and-so to Dr. So-and-so. But you don't get it on a silver platter. You go through rigor, you go through a lot of stresses, you go through systems that really, sometimes change the way you see things. But it's all worth it, because at the end of the day, when you have gone through all the drill, you acquire skills, you acquire analytical skills, you acquire skills in using certain tools which you were not able to use. You're able to communicate very well. You're able to also publish in journals.
Yes, Prof, we can hear you. Yeah, hello,
okay.
Prof.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Let me just, so we're looking at managing stress. Let me just go to the next slide. Oh, can I move it? Let me see. Yes. So as I began to say that in the process, we encounter stress, and somebody, put this quote there. You say that research is what I'm doing when I don't know what I am doing. You are confused. You are doing research, but you really don't know, where am I going? Why is this taking me to, and sometimes that also bring confusion into your mind if you are not clear about what you are doing. If you just embarked on the PhD because everybody is going to do PhD, so I'm also going to do PhD, without any clarity in your mind as to what you need to do. So I'll go through the purpose of the thesis writing, what is thesis stress, and challenges faced by the PhD students, and thesis stress management, and how to go about it. I also included something else, but when we have time, we'll look at it, because it's been a question that I've been asked several times, and I thought I should talk about it. So what is the purpose of thesis writing? Why do we have to even write thesis? And we're saying that it's going to prepare the student to be a professional person. I mean, when you're a PhD, you're a doctor in sociology, doctor in education, you are somehow seen as a professional. You were able to conduct independent research and original research and so on. You're really capable person, and so the thesis writing helps you to, clearly recognize and define a problem of interest to you, something that is happening within your environment, something that is happening within your literature reading, something that is happening within your lecture room, classroom, whatever, that is of interest to you. I stress of interest to you because I think in my earlier, I talked about interest. If you don't have interest, you'll quit in no time. If you are forced to do a research work that you really are doing it because my supervisor says I should do it, then you are burning, your energy and fat without really, having any attachment to it. No moral attachment, no attachment that will make you feel like this is mine, this is what I'm doing, this is what is make a difference in the life of people that I'm seeking to do this research for. So it also helps you with developing research questions and hypotheses. You've gone through some of those things. They carry out extensive review of the literature, including the theoretical framework that you need to. In some universities, it constitutes one chapter, just one chapter. But in South Africa, one chapter is devoted to theoretical framework. Apart from review of current literature and so on, you have that. And then employ appropriate design methods of sampling, data collection, so on. You need to do that. Use appropriate analytical techniques and judge evidence from what you have collected from the data, from the field. So it's very important. Carry out exhaustive discussions of the findings, and be critical and coherent in your writing. This is very important. You are not just going to describe all the things that you've done. You bring a critical mindset to ensure that what you have collected, you can even create a theory out of that, but through that kind of discussion, that you have. My own experience has been that when I was doing my literature research and I got my findings and so on, and I read somebody's work that had been done, trying to use the same, and then it's been published. I was using the same approach that he used, but the approach requires certain assumptions and certain things that need to be put clearly before you use them. That person didn't use them. So using my own rhetorical review and so on, I just wrote to the paper, the editors, that I think we need to look at the paper that has been published. I don't think the person really understood what he was doing. So can you said, oh, we've got it, we'll give it to him to respond. So the person responded, and then he said, oh, thank you very much. It's true. I didn't actually, you're giving me the information that I need, to it. So I'm thankful to you and so on and so forth. I mean, so you bring a critical mind into the work you're doing. It's not something you just, describe it and that's the end of the show. And you need to publish your findings. So what is this stress we are talking about? Thesis stress. When there's a lot of pressure on you to finish an assignment, thesis, in a very short time. And the short time is not because your supervisor has created it, it's because you have delayed in writing your thing, and every day you delay, the days you have become shorter, So if you have 360 days to work on it, every day, go to 365, 45, and so on and so on. Then you have 3 months, and you wonder, can I really do this? I have this thing to do. I have to this also something to do. Maybe I'm doing a job, and so on. So your mind is clouded with so many things, and that constitutes some of the stress that we see. So signs of some of the stress include you feel tired, and you can't even work. You normally work at your full potential. You can't even do that. There's something, that there's something wrong with you. You are not yourself. You're not a normal self. You don't have the desire to work on the work. You've reached literature review and you're just wondering, should I go ahead or should I just withdraw? Stay back, and then let the PhD take its, go wherever it's going. Is that what we want? You are depressed, you think negatively about you yourself and your ability to complete your work. You think you can't do it. You are impatient and easily lose your temper, because sometimes when you have all these pressures, and you are married, for example, you may extend it onto your wife and your children, and as if they are the ones who are preventing you from writing your thesis. No, you have not planned well. You have not done the right things. So you get a good night. You don't get a good night's sleep. You wake up and you are as tired as if you are, somebody has taken you through a rough path, and you don't know what to do. Some of the things that a lot of people say about stress, the deadline is approaching fast, and you're even halfway, to finish your thesis. The topic is too complex, and you are struggling to make any meaningful progress. There are too many things you need to work on, and you can't even get enough sleep, and so so you can see a lot of things, more than even what some people have expressed here, all worrying you. But a study that was done by Wang, identified these areas, where you have, family or marriage issues to deal with, maybe roommate issues to deal with. It's always playing music, and you can't get to do it, so you need to leave the place and go into somewhere and have a good place to environment to work. What about relationships, with colleagues, relationship with other people, that can also create stress. What are some of the financial, do you have the finances, to carry on with their work? Are finances critical? So they found that, yes, finances are critical, and personal factors, your personality, also contributes to this. And then what about job expectations? That when I finish, I'll become a lecturer. When I finish, I will go to work in this place. When I finish, so you have a vision, you have dreams, and so on. What are the job expectations that I have? What is my employment situation? Am I going to get the job, quickly? And so on. So you're looking at job prospects, and so on. And then a graduation, you need to do a graduation, you need to do a viva. How do I prepare for the viva? What should I go through in order to ensure that I can really defend my thesis that I have, and so on. And then, even thesis writing and publication, So they found that, going through the PhD journey, you encounter some of these stresses, they impinge upon you. You are somehow, inundated by them. And if you are not someone who does things in a certain way, you may find that, this is not for me. I have to find a way somewhere. So there are stress words, like apathy, your own work, you don't have any interest in what is happening. There's stress, tension, anxiety, nervousness. And then you have a general anxiety disorder. That's carried by excessive, unrealistic anxiety about your thesis. So you have people, being categorized into some of these areas, and that can be a disaster for anyone embarking on thesis. There are challenges faced by a PhD student. Want to develop discipline, expertise, to be able to develop that, and general skills, such as academic writing, that's one thing we don't do, in graduate school, but in some universities there are centers for doing that, people find it difficult to write. You know, how can I write my thesis? In what form? What should be the nature of the writing? Is it writing a storybook? No. Is it like writing a fiction? No. What is it like? You know, is it the same thing or it's different? Writing a poetry? No. Or what? No. So you need to look at the fact that this is a different disciplinary area, you know, and examples are there for you to look at, you know. We talk about anxiety and so on. Students find themselves lonely on this part, you know, because nobody's going to do it for you. It's you alone, you know. But there are opportunities for you to learn so much, you know, from a lot of people. You know, we'll come to that, you know. And then there's lack of time management on the part of a student. You know, it's also posed a challenge. You know, do I, you know, put deadlines on my things so that I can ensure that you know, I can complete each one. You know, and then ignoring what's called serial writing. You know, a term used by some authors in their book, How to Write a Thesis. You know, serial writing or continual writing. You know, we need to get into that. We'll come to that. You know, feeling overwhelmed on the and the work. You know, and feeling overwhelmed and not, you know, really chunking your work. You know, that is breaking them down. You know, can also be another issue that people, you know, failure to immerse yourself in academic culture. You know, attending annual research, you know, symposia organized in your university or other universities, you know, where you can share your own thesis research work, where you are and so on, and get ideas, you know, attending conferences or research seminars like this one that we're doing, you know, talking to others, you know, being there, talking to one another enables you to get, you know, new, novel, excellent ideas from other people, you know, who are looking at it from another angle, different from your perspective, you know, and that can be helpful. But then also publishing your work, you know, in peer-reviewed journals, you know. A lot of people have done PhDs, and MPhils, and so on. The theses are sitting in their probably at bookshelves, you know, and they are there gathering dust, you know. By the time they realize the work is outdated and somebody has done something better than you know, so you cannot even publish, you know. That's why, you know, some of us like the idea that, you know, if you're doing a master's, you know, MPhil, at least publish one paper, you know. If you're doing a PhD, you know, maybe get 3 papers out of that, you know. And some people even ask you to have about 7, you know, research papers, you know, published papers before they can graduate you, you know. So, I mean, different universities have their own age, but it's important that you don't keep your things, you know, on the shelves to gather dust and not let people see what you have done, which may be of use to other people, you know. Yes, and then another issue is that of academic writing that I refer to, you know, the grammar, the composition, how do you write it, you know? So there are things that, you know, challenge a lot of students. So that is the state of my PhD. Confused, you know, it's the PhD vehicle that is taking me on my journey is really coming to a halt. We have so many people there, you know, who are also trying to do the same thing. Maybe there's only one supervisor and he's overwhelmed, and the students are there doing their own thing, you know, they're not moving, you know. So So is that our state? Is that how we are? No, we need to be different. We need to be different. No, each individual is catered for by a supervisor and is helped to overcome the stresses, the other situations that they may come across. So in so doing, we need to rescue people. A supervisor is the first person to rescue you. So he is in the helicopter trying to rescue you from the truck that is going to bite you, and so you are in a certain system that because of all the stresses you have talked about, you find yourself in a certain state, but you need to be rescued. How do you rescue yourself, from all this? We'll come to that. Yes, first, you need to be innovative and creative in your responses to stress management. You need to have a system in place that enables you to overcome the stresses. So, like the zebra, when you are going to be swallowed by the lion and there's a motorbike standing somewhere, maybe you have to take the motorbike is faster than running. So there are many things that you can do, that can help you move forward instead of withdrawing for the lion to start chewing up. And those are some of the things that we'll be looking at. We don't want anyone to fall down for the lion to chew. We want you to be successful, and managing those stress issues, will help a lot in guiding you to completion. So this is stress management. What to do to avoid the stress. Excuse me. Relax and have a positive, optimistic mindset. You are going into the thesis development with a positive mindset. This is something I love to do. This is something I want to do. This is something that I have always desired, and I have an interest in the topic that I'm going to do, and therefore I'll be able to accomplish it within a set time. It's interesting that, when I was the VC some time ago, decades ago, I had a challenge. I needed somebody to be in ICT. We didn't have any lecturer, in ICT. He's done mathematics and so on and so forth. So, and the university didn't have money. But I decided that, well, I think this is so important for the university, And my own vision was to see this university being the first and the best ICT-centered university in Ghana, if not in West Africa. But we don't have any lecturer, in that area. So we said, okay, why don't you get somebody who's with us? And so I did that. Had a very big chat, telling him about the fact that, if you go there and spend 4 years, I'm going to get money for you, But if you go there and spend 4 years, you won't have 4 years money. You're going to have 2 years, 2.5, and that's it. So when you go there, all the courses you have to take them. There's no holiday for you. Make sure you have completed your thesis within, not their time frame, but my time frame. He took the challenge, went to US, and just over 2 years, he returned with his PhD. And that's the kind of positive mindset building, that's the kind of encouragement you give to people to enable them to succeed in the most difficult situations. The university said nobody had done that before. No. So this is unique. No. He has completed everything. And we don't have anything to say but to graduate him. So that's you got to build confidence in your doctoral, dissertation, in the work that you are doing. You ensure that you are psychologically ready to embark upon it. No, you reframe your mindset. No, nobody will reframe it for you. You reframe your mindset and ensure that, you are ready for it. And then, what preparations are you making for this journey? Have you read any books at all? No, in the area that you are interested in. No. Have you contacted some people outside, who are, you've read through their literature and they are ready to, offer some advice to you and so on? You talk to them. You look at their papers. You may not understand all the things they write in their papers, but at least you read and then try to, absorb some of the ideas there. There may be new terminologies and so on. No, it doesn't matter. You overcome it, as you go on reading others and so on. So that's how, you prepare yourself for the journey that you're going to undertake. Your family should know about it. They should know that this is what I'm going to do. So if I'm not able to, come home or whatever, and so on, you know where I am. You know that I have to embark upon this. No, and be careful. Be careful and enjoy your journey. The thesis journey. If you are not cheerful, always your face is gloomy, and so on, as if somebody is dead. You're not going to enjoy your research. The research, as I said, should be first of interest to you, so that you can enjoy it and then, celebrate with your family also. Read around your area of interest. Yes, I've mentioned that. Practice academic honesty, avoiding plagiarism, interfering with data collected from the field, adding something to it and removing something from it and so on. We want you to have, collect data that is realistic, that shows exactly what is happening in the field. That's what we have collected. And it's you have colleagues, you have friends. I don't know whether there's people who get into groups to discuss their own. I went to Sweden and then talked to one professor who had, so he was supervising 10 plus, students, but the students were working in their own groups. They were sharing their writings, criticizing each other and so on, and directing people, I don't know, you could have done it that way or that way and so on and so forth. And the supervisor is there, Well, after they've done all those things and so on, then he will come in and then share some few ideas on straightening things and so on. And I found it to be very interesting because the colleagues are there. They're also struggling with their PhD, because maybe they share something with you, you can help them also. So talking to your friends, talking to your colleagues, talking to your peers who are in the same area, or probably not even in the same area, but in another area, could be helpful to you. Speak to your advisor. So engage with your supervisor, because that's very important. Don't run away from your supervisor. No, he's the one who can make or not make you. Your supervisor is very critical. Speak to him or her as you go along writing your work. You need to set goals. When you set the goals, you set deadlines. And these deadlines should be agreed upon by the supervisor. That these are the breakdown and so on and so forth. Make sure you achieve every milestone, every step that you have put there. Those single steps that you have put there, that you want to accomplish. You have to make sure that you have accomplished them. Don't jump over them. You accomplish them and then you move on to the next, and then move on to the next. But before you go and see your supervisor, it's important that you prepare questions you want answers to. You don't go there empty-handed. I'm going to see my supervisor. To see him or her for what? What are you seeing her for? Unless it's a scheduled time for you to meet on one of the deadlines. That yes, I'm going to see, this is the time for me to see my supervisor or mentor. So you go there to see him, but you prepare yourself. What questions, as you're reading, as you're writing, agitate your mind that you need answers to clarify your mind. The supervisor is there to help you. He may direct you to, a book that will be helpful. He may direct you to some other, sources of information, that you probably have not looked at. So be proactive about solving problems yourself when you encounter them. When you encounter a problem, you don't run to your supervisor, how do I solve this problem? Think about how you can solve the problem yourself. And before you even get to him. If you don't think about it, you may decide, I don't know, I'm going to withdraw from this and so on. But if you're not getting the guidance and the support you need, I think the graduate school of graduate studies, and the faculties have opportunities for you to, probably even get a new supervisor or new advisor, to help you. I think there are rules, guidelines there. Once you follow them, I mean, if the supervisor is not helpful to you, you better quit, because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. But don't okay, I'll come to that later on. Engaging with your supervisor. So that's how we want you to do. Having a proactive supervisor who can encourage you and provide feedback when you write and submit to him is, it's critical to your succeeding with your PhD journey. So that's why I said that if the supervisor is not, then you are in big trouble. He's key to the completion of your thesis. And your contact with him or her is very important. But you need to know that if he's also not helping you, there are so many students he has to take care of, then you need to raise your voice about it. Engage in serial writing. That's the next subtopic. You continue to write your thesis as you go along. Every day you write something. If you have a journal, you note everything you write. You might have read somebody's work and something impinges your mind. You note it, and write what you feel about it in your journal, because your journal is going to help you in your writing of the whichever section you may be looking at. So research journal helps you to write what the counter each day, indicate why you did or did not do anything like that. Didn't do anything around that. This is what we call the serial writing. And it helps you to develop knowledge instead of you telling. As a thesis is not description, just describing things as writing a story. It's a story. Actually, this is a story, but a story with a difference. You creating knowledge out of that. You're not just telling people that this is the way I did my thesis. Sorry. Ways to manage your work. And I think that is very important. We talked about parts of it already. So break down your work into manageable chunks. So you write a concept paper first that you show to your supervisor. And then you write your introduction. You write your literature review. You write your theoretical framework. You write your methodology. And all these must have deadlines that this are finished in this are finished at this time, this are finished at this time. I think it's so important, if we're unable to do it, to meet a deadline, you need to work, in order not to eat into the other deadlines. You need to work your butts to ensure that you can complete it. Unless there is something more serious, like being hospitalized and not being able to do anything, then you can rework your deadlines, and let your supervisor see it. And I'm sure that the supervisor will see it and say, okay, let's reshape it again. We'll look at it when you get back. So you need to have critical discussion at each stage. If the concept paper goes, if the introduction goes, it's all critical discussions that you're going to have. You give it to your supervisor well ahead of the time, not when you are going to meet and then give it to him. That immediately you should read it and then give you, his or her own perspective of what you have written. You need to give it to your supervisor, advisor, before you go and meet him. So you will have done some reading on it, done something on it for you. When you come, who's going to present it, he's going to ask you a lot of questions, to ensure that your mind is clarified about what you are doing. So chunking your your thesis write-up is very, very important. Then you have to have a good working academic environment. You know, if you are a family person and you are at home, you have to work at home on your work. Sometimes you need a place where, you know, the kids, you know, probably can give you a little, you know, peace of mind to work on your things, because it requires mental, you know, acuity, you know, being able to not just see a descriptive thing, but, you know, work some creativity and innovation into it, you know. And I think that is very critical, you know, in doing this. So you need a good working environment with little or no disturbance, if possible. You know, if you are on the university campus and you are pairing up with somebody, you know, if you can know your PhD students, you can arrange, you know, and come to some agreement, you know, so that you know, everybody can have its own. Seek support and understanding from friends, you know, and family members. I mentioned it already. Immerse yourself in academic culture. Talk about by engaging, you know, others, you know, by attending symposia, conferences, you know, presenting papers to colleagues, even a group of colleagues. Can I meet you all? I want to present my aid to you, you know, for ideas. Then they present, you know. Next time another person will also come and then also present something for all of you, you know, to make your comments on. And then we're saying that try and publish in a peer-reviewed journal, you know, as much as possible. Try and publish. You know, there are avenues for publishing, and you can take advantage of them. You know. Develop a workable combination of teaching, writing, publishing, and so on, and their work. They're important. I mean, you are a lecturer, you know, who is seeking a PhD in the university. So you are teaching. Or you may be in a secondary school, you are, you know, you want a college of education, you writing your PhD. So you have a teaching job to do, you know, you have, and then you need to write and publish at the same time. So you need to, you know, schedule your times in such a way that, you know, you are able to do all those things, you know, within, you know, the time, you know, space that you have. But as I will say later on, you know, it's important that you, if you are teaching, you know, you have to make sure that, you know, you don't spend all your time doing that, you know, and then later time on your work, you know. Indeed, I've said somewhere that try to avoid becoming a head of department on your thesis. Try to avoid becoming an exam officer when you are writing, you know, a thesis. You know, spend I mean, if there's a small job you can do, yes, do that. Your head of department should give you the little freedom to enable you to complete your work in time. And I think that's something sometimes we don't do, you know, and sometimes it's not the fault of the supervisor. Sometimes it's the fault of the student. The student wants more money, so allowances. So he wants to be head of department. He wants to be the exam officer. He wants to be that, you know, collecting all those. Is that why you are in the place? You need to ask yourself those questions. You know? The next one is improve your professional skills, writing skills. I said the quality of your writing matters. You may have wonderful ideas. You might have done your thesis and the data gives you very exciting findings. How do I convey this in my thesis so that people understand, so that people can really agree that yes, this is something worth pursuing, and you've done a wonderful job. If you're not able to communicate well, it's not only for the thesis that you are writing, but you may find that it's carried, you carry it to your workplace. If you leave the university and going somewhere, to work, you may find that this poor writing continues with you. And if you're in the university, the poor writing will continue to be with you. So you're not able to publish well in any journal. So it's important that we have, you're able to, control that, So I said, the question I posed was, how do you get over this, knowing that the university, we don't teach academic writing skills? So your supervisor may just direct you to, okay, look at this thesis that I supervised some time ago. Go and look for it. Look at how he wrote the thesis, he or she wrote the thesis. Go to this dissertation abstract, and you may find something there. Go on the net and may find a completed thesis from Harvard University, and look at the writing, the way they've written, So you're looking at it, reading and then learning from it, the style of writing and so on, so that you are not creating a new way of doing things. It's there already, So you need to just be conversant with those areas so that we can, you can learn, those new styles from it, and so on. Excuse me. So in planning your thesis, or when you say that, map out or outline what you want to express prior to writing it. What do I want? What are the points I want to put into my introduction? These are the points, bullet form. Okay. Is the arrangement okay, or should I change some of the to come up and so on and so forth? Once you agree on it, then you start writing. Most of us will write, when we think about what's the next thing to write, and then we think about it and it comes. And then we think about it and so on, but advice that a lot of people give is that, if you have the points there, it's easier for you to write and convey your ideas to others. And we're saying that for each chapter, or map or outline the order in which the content of each chapter before actually writing them. So it's the same ideas that I'm sharing. So you have to improve the writing skills. Writing your drafts. Draft a section at a time and give it a break. So you write it and then put it down. You don't think about it and just do some other things. Then come back to it and look at it. It's most likely that you find that, oh, I didn't spell this one rightly. No, the sentence doesn't make sense. then you correct the things yourself, before you even give it to somebody else to look at it for you. And then it says follow university conventions, and the SGS has handbook, and it details out all the things that you need. So let's get that. Get feedback on your writing. The feedback can come, from your supervisor. Yes, can come from your friends who are probably doing English, and are very good at doing that. But I think the university should have a center for graduate writing, academic writing. That when you go there, you are tutored on how to write, do academic writing, thesis writing, paper publication writing. I think this will help quite a lot of people to do, to improve on their writing skills. You go to places like Harvard, they have something like that, and other places, So they help people to develop their writing skills. We are not all very good at writing, thesis. This is the first time you're writing a thesis. You need help in that area. Yeah. We also saying that you need to take opportunities to practice your writing and oral presentation. And I alluded to it when I said that, if you go to make a presentation to a group of your mates or to a conference, a symposium, it's an advantage. Don't be afraid. Yes, don't be afraid that you are going there and you are scared as to what you are going to say with all these people sitting there, professors sitting there, and I'm going to work on this. No, I won't go. So people don't want to go. But it's all of the professors there have gone through that system. They were also afraid, just as you are afraid, And so it's not a new thing, I remember, when I was in Winnipeg, there was somebody who had done a diploma and was doing a post-diploma in mathematics. And I've been interested in how to use indigenous knowledge to teach, make concepts in mathematics and science, relevant and very clear to students. So I encourage her to go to the market, Winnipeg market, look at the way, the women sell their things, the way they arrange them, like somebody's selling, oranges, and you see, he's put them on certain platforms, and so on. Somebody's selling, yam, and he's grouped them, in groupings and so on, And that's what he did for his project work. And there was an international conference which happened to be organized in Ghana, and there's people from all over. So I encourage her, let's write this. You are going to present it to these people. So first degree, and I'm going to present my thesis to these people. So I encouraged her and I said, yes. I convinced her and said, oh, I can do it, because those people don't even know about this, what you are doing, and they will be surprised that there is something even like that. And when she went to present, everybody wanted to talk to her. Everybody was, So how did you go about doing this? You know, how did you know that, you know, the mathematics were in this, all this, and so on and so forth? You know? That's the joy, you know, of sharing your ideas with others, for the others to, you know, see, you know, where you are coming from, you know. And I think this is so important, that you do not, you know, be scared of anything. This is your thing you have done. Nobody has done it. It's you. So you go and present it, you know. But you need to be able to write, you know, the thing yourself. You know, you write it, you know, letting somebody see to it, and then make corrections and so on, and then go and present it, because you are the one who did it, you know, and you know more than the people probably sitting there, you know. So I think that that also is a helpful thing to do. Adding thesis writing to your job. I said I didn't take this to be something that should be have an extended exploration. You know, but I just said that avoid taking up full-time employment while writing your thesis, because full-time employment will take all your time away. You know, at the time you get home, you're so tired. You know, you can't even think clearly. Thesis writing is not for a tired mind. You know, a mind that is sharp, that is ready to absorb, that is ready to create something out of whatever you read. You know, so it's important that, you know, if it's a full-time job, then you need to decide yourself. But it's a part-time job, you know, yes, you can manage. You know that you work on this part-time for whatever, and then you have time for other things. Yes, and as I said already, for those in the university, you know, have a reduced workload to complete your thesis. After all, if you had received scholarship to go outside, you would not be doing anything else. That's your thesis you'll be doing. You know, completing in 4 years or 3 years and come back. You know, so you need that space. You know, but when you are given that space, don't use it for something else. You know, use it for what it's meant to be used for. You know. You know. I said, don't be tempted because of the allowances. So you take all the responsibilities, you know, on your head, you know, when you know that you have a major thesis to complete. So yes, we encourage you to dream, to inspire yourselves, and to bring a balance, a harmony in your life, you know, a balance with your family, with all the people around you, you know. So this is where I end, but I have something that I wanted to share, but it's not part of what I'm supposed to do. So I decided that I'm not going to share that with you. So thank you very much. And I hope that you know, I've offered something that may be useful to you. If it's not useful, you know, I mean, we can have a chat, you know, and other issues that we can look at. So thank you very much.
Okay, Prof. Thank you so much for the time and the insights.
Thank you, Prof.
You're welcome.
We're so much grateful.
We are grateful, Prof. We are very, very
for
grateful.
exposing us.
So thank you so much, Prof, for the
I'm so tired now.
for sharing the
We
insight
need
that
to
you
take a
have
rest.
shared with us. I am sure those of us who were at the verge of giving up because of some pressures would have been inspired enough to continue and to put in place the many suggestions that Prof has made so that we can complete our work successfully. I think it's mentioned a number of things, but I just want to mention a few here, that how to write a thesis. So for instance, he's talked about ways to manage your work. You need to divide your work into smaller chunks that you can manage and work within those chunks. How to work with your supervisor. In fact, your supervisor is, let me put it in quotes, your God. So you must listen to your supervisor and his suggestions in order to progress. And we need to be able to set and keep to deadlines. So since it is our individual work, we will need to set our deadlines as to when do I want to finish my literature review? When do I want to finish my data collection? When will I be able to write, or when do I want to finish with my analysis? So we should set realistic deadlines and work within those deadlines. We don't have to give excuses that, oh, for A, B, and C, I haven't been able to finish this deadline. So we need to set and work within deadlines. We need to try as much as possible to create good working environment. So when you are with your roommates or your family, we need to set an environment within which we can work, taking care of the family, taking care of our work, as well as the thesis that we are working on. But of course, we need the support of our families. For those of us who are in marital relationships, we need the support of our families. We also need the support of friends. So don't be shy. Share your problems with friends and family members, and you may get help. And we need to immerse ourselves in the academic culture. So attending conferences, attending seminars like we are doing now will help you share your problems and get some tips and solutions to some of the problems that we might be facing. And we need to learn how to publish in peer-reviewed journals. One thing that he has said that I think is important is for us to want to keep our work schedules as well as our thesis writing. So for those of us who are engaged in some other administrative duties like heads of departments, heads of programs, please let us make some time and make some sacrifice, a little sacrifice to be able to concentrate on our work. So, Prof, as you take a bit of rest, I'd want to encourage participants to share their experiences or their concerns or questions that they want to ask in the chat column so that Prof can respond to them. So let your questions come in the form of it in the chat column. Yeah. I'll read them for Prof to respond to you. Prof, thanks for the time and then the insights. Although you had some challenges this morning, but you have been able to overcome them because of your commitment to this program. We are so grateful for your time, your commitment and energy that you are spending to help students to overcome some of the challenges that they face in their PhD journeys.
Thank you.
So participants, let your comments come. Or you can share your problems, your experiences.
Yeah, I think it would be good if they can share their experiences. What experiences are they going through?
Okay, somebody is asking, would it not be a good idea to have supervisors assigned at admission for especially PhDs?
Yeah, well, this is normally you have a temporary supervisor or advisor given to you in other universities. So when you come and then you sharpen what you want to do and you are given the green light, then you choose a supervisor in the area of specialization. You know, you might have been asked to send something to them. So that thing is just to enable them to know some of the things you are interested in. But it is not enough for them to say that this is the permanent advisor or supervisor. So they give you somebody who will help you, you know, when you come. And then through that interaction and so on, and your writing, they see that, oh yes, you're moving in this direction. Okay, then this is very important for you. Professor, whatever, has been doing some work in this area. Let's see if he'd be interested in working with you. So that can be done. Yes. But normally we don't do it here, because I don't know whether we even ask students to write a piece, concept notes, to indicate what they want to do, the kind of process they want to do when they are enrolled in. If we don't have it, it means that nobody can even assign anybody to you. You come and then but if we have it there, then that can give an inkling that yes, maybe you want to do something in chemistry, your PhD in chemistry, it's in analytical chemistry or organic chemistry. So you write it, you send it, they give it to somebody to look at it and so on. And maybe that person, because we are not many, who may probably be your supervisor, in the end. Over there, they don't have us, I mean, the students in the graduate school, yeah, there are many, yes, but they have a lot of professors who are, and even adjunct professors, who they call on, as I'm here in Ghana, I'm an adjunct professor for University of Victoria in Canada, so occasionally they will send me something to look at, for them. So it's it depends upon the system that we are operating. If we don't ask for those things, then it's not going to help us. If we have a lot of adjunct professors, it will be a lot of from other universities, and so on. Then you have people with experience from other universities working with you.
I think we do here too, because they are asked to submit a proposal of the topic that they want to work on.
Okay.
So we do have, in some other jurisdictions, your admission to PhD is dependent on the availability of the supervisor to supervise you.
Yeah.
But because of the numbers here, sometimes people are admitted without knowing their supervisors from the onset. There's another question, a concern from Rufus.
Ima, the numbers are not big. We are producing about 200 PhDs in a year. University of Ibadan produces 250 PhDs in a year. So we are not, this is the whole country, So we are not. But the only thing is that we don't have the people there to help, do the supervision.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's the problem we have, and we cannot continue to do this. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So Rufus is asking, can a good MA thesis be allowed to pursue a PhD program directly? So can you be allowed to do a PhD direct from an MA thesis?
At UEW? If it's at UEW,
yes, the person hasn't specified.
But outside, yes, I know a lot of people who have, even somebody with a bachelor's degree, who did a PhD. Professor Alete did a PhD, straight, from bachelor's. So yes, it's happening elsewhere, but in our place, see, we have categorized, what MPhil is for us. It's like MA or in some other institutions. We have lifted an MPhil to a very high level, whilst other people, have it at the lower level. So different interpretations, we didn't require MPhil before, but now we require MPhil before you enter into, any a PhD degree program. But for me, if we have done a master's and the research work we've done is really impeccable, I don't see why you cannot do a PhD. But the regulations don't allow, you have to do an MPhil before you go ahead.
Okay, so Rosemary is asking, what do you do when your supervisors are not reading your work? And then Joyce is also asking, please, Prof, has the university any department to help students who want to publish?
The second one, I think, you need to talk to your supervisor. I don't know, you may correct me, that the university has any place where you can go for your work to be, looked at and published. The publication is your own. You have to find a journal that would be interested in your work, and publish it for you, after it has gone through peer review and so on and so forth, So that's all I can say. The first one is on what?
The first one is that, what do you do when your supervisors are not reading your work?
When they are reading your work. The first thing is that, did you agree with your supervisor on the deadlines? That you will send this to me on this day, whatever. If the supervisor, has not agreed to it, that's what I was emphasizing, the agreement, deadlines. So some students will write, maybe 3 chapters and then give it to a supervisor. And some supervisors will just throw it somewhere else. They want to agree with you. You bring this and look at it, and then you go and use ideas to then build up the next one, and so on and so forth. But if you on your own, you do that, many supervisors may not, but if you agreed with the supervisor on that, and then he or she is not reading, I think we need to find out more from him. I mean, or her, just give him calls and then ask him if you can at least, let you know how the writing is, so that you can continue with just a little gentle pressure may probably work. I'm not sure, but may work. But if it becomes too much and it's not going anywhere, that's where the dean of the faculty comes in, and then there are guidelines for this. But you don't want to also antagonize any of your supervisors. If I decide that, okay, he's the one who's going to supervise, what do you do? And I think that's something that we need to, there are so many things that we need to work on to ensure that we have a graduate program that really is supportive of our students, as they go through this journey. Yeah.
For instance, the German system, it don't say student, but it say your doctor, your father, or your doctor Mutter. So in other words, in your PhD, your supervisor is your father or your mother in the PhD process. So you cultivate a very good relationship with your supervisor. But I think that the problem here, students are so distant from their supervisors, or some of them don't sit to discuss what they want to do with the supervisors. So if the supervisor is sitting and you go and bring 4 chapters on him or her, the person may get irritated. But if you maintain a good relationship with your supervisor, some of those things should not, whatever you bring will not be strange to him or her. So I think students need to build good relations with their supervisors.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, my supervisor in Canada will invite me to the house, you know, to the family, and then we'll go and have lunch, or take me to a park, and then they bring all kinds of things, and we just laugh and so on and so forth, as if we are colleagues, you know. Yeah, we just laugh and so on, you know. And it was like, oh, one big family. So when we even finish, it's like a family. They always asking about the family, how's it, and so on and so forth, you know. So yes, building a good relationship with your supervisor is really great. I'm not sure that we are doing that here, you know. I don't know why, but it's a different thing in the other world, you know, where you know, you will just be invited. Oh, this Saturday we're having a, you know, come and then take part in the salmon party. Then you go, you know, with your family, and then they are there. Everybody is enjoying, you know. I don't know where the fault is coming from. Is it from us, the supervisors, or from students? The supervisee? No. Yes, the supervisors are our mentors, you know, but then we need to build that relationship, you know, build that relationship, you know, and building that relationship is so critical. I mean, you know, it means that the person is interested in your work, you know, it's interested in your work. It's when I completed and published, I published with my supervisor, you know, on 3 papers, you know. The next one is sort of Jophus, you go ahead, you know, do it yourself, you know. You know, so I think that bond of relationship is important. You know. So it will avoid all the kind of things, the problem you raised, you know. But we need to build it in such a way that it doesn't become something else also, you know.
So somebody, Rufus is asking, how long does it take to complete a PhD?
Oh, I think the universities have their own guidelines. You know, they give you guidelines as to the length of your, well, not the length of it, but the length of time that you have to take. So 3 years, you know, then within the 3 years you have to finish. If you not, if they'll give you 1 more year, you know, and then you're gone, you know. But I know some people have stayed in for 10 years, you know. I was encouraging somebody, you know, I was talking to the Dean of Graduate Studies at UCC. He was complaining, you know, that this is what they want to stop it totally, so that if you attend, then you know, you go see the limit, you are gone. You know, you don't want people with 10 years staying here doing, you know, virtually nothing, you know. So I sent him somebody and I said, I will look after that person to make sure that he completes it. So give the person 1 year, you know. So I said, Prof, you've said it, okay. So we give the person 1 year and the person finished, you know. So I guess it depends upon the, but we all don't even respect the timeline that we have, you know. The university itself doesn't respect it, you know, the students don't respect it, you know. So, but if we respect it, you know, we'll find our students will go by it and work, you know, towards completing their thesis on time.
Yes, the questions are no longer coming. So, Prof, I want to especially thank you so much this morning. I know that you have been running around since morning, but you have, because of your commitment you have to this program, you have been with us. So we are so grateful for your time and for the insight, the discussion that you have taken us through. So thank you so much for your time today. We hope to meet again next week. Thank you.
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
participants, next week we will continue to see how you can write your thesis 15 minutes per day and then finish in time.
Good.
So we'll see you next week. Thank you so much, Prof.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks all participants, especially for those who waited for an hour because of some other hitches that we had. Thank you so much. Have a good week.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you too.
Mhm.
welcome.
God bless you.
Bless you too.